Alright everyone, you may have seen that Steve Bannon is now out under circumstances astonishingly similar to Scaramucci. Now I wonder why there's so much similarity. I'll tell you why. I think this is part of Trump's pivoting strategy. A little bit belated, but I think he sees, with the Charlottesville events and the fallout from that, his enemies are currently in a reactive state. They're operating in the present. He's not. He's operating in the future. He's setting the stage for his moves to come. In a combination sort of fashion. He did this during the election. Yeah, a lot of people still think he's unhinged. No, he didn't suddenly forget the second he took the oath of office all the strategy that he kept in mind before. This is a long game that he's playing, not a short-term game, which is why I still speculate he'll be successful. Steve Bannon had to go. He was too much dead weight on the administration, too ideologically fringe, and then inexplicably he makes the same mistake that Scaramucci makes a few weeks ago. I wonder, well, Steve Bannon made a mistake. No, I don't think he did. I think that it was planned from the get-go. I think Trump took Scaramucci aside first, and then now Bannon said, hey, a lot of my core fans really like you. I can't afford to jettison their support during this transition period because I'm trying to pivot my entire administration to outflank my enemies, who are all busy labeling me either a Russian agent, which they know isn't true, or a Nazi, which they equally know isn't true. But I need my core fans at the very least to be on board during this period because I gotta keep stirring the pot for a while longer before I make that ultimate transition and just really lay waste to the Democratic Party. So, I need you to get off of the administration. Now, hey Steve, here's how we're gonna do that. You do the same thing Scaramucci did, which is talk to the media and actually pretend, which it is, it's pretense. He's not dumb enough to actually do this, I think. Talk to the media, they'll leak the transcript, say some off-the-wall shit. Here's a basic list of things I want you to say because I want my enemies focused on what you're saying for the moment, and I want them to think certain things and implant things in their mind. And then, naturally, well, I have an excuse to let you go. My core fans aren't going to abandon me, because they're going to be like, yeah, but, you know, he has no choice. But it's not going to look like I'm compelling you to leave because I actually don't agree with the things that in public you've stated, which Bannon may or may not even agree with. I think it's a setup. Either that. Here's the other possibility. Either that or Trump is stabbing his own administration in the back and setting them up for failure in order to let them go. And then pulling him aside saying, I'm sorry, but you're too compromised. You got to understand, I got to govern here. And that they're not in on it. They're not actually cooperating with Trump, but he's getting rid of him one way or the other. You can look probably, here's my speculation, look for other far out there individuals, probably Gorka, maybe Sessions and some others. Less likely Sessions. I think it makes sense to keep him on longer, but Gorka certainly. Look for them to talk to people in private knowing full well that what they say is not actually in confidence, will be leaked and used it as an excuse to get rid of them. That's what you can look for. We're talking about a span of some months. Most people will be oblivious to the fact that it's happening. I'm not, but most people will be. So you heard it first here. He's setting Bannon up, or he's working with Bannon because both he and Bannon know that it's time for him to go. And by the way, what if Bannon never expected to be on for 4 years? What if this was the plan all along? Oh, you're going to be here for a while. I'm going to give you a lot of money, by the way, to do this for me since, you know, you won't be able to work in political strategy anymore. So don't worry, I'll take care of it. Here's 10 million bucks because I'm Donald Trump. I don't fucking care about 10 million bucks. You're going to take the fall. You're going to get purged from the admin. You're a useful idiot for right now, and then bye-bye after a while, and you need to leave when I tell you to leave. And that was probably always the understanding with some of these people. Michael Flynn could fit into this situation. Although with that, it looks like Michael Flynn was actually doing some bullshit behind the scenes. Not with Russia, but with Turkey, of all places. Had nothing to do with Russia. The FBI clears him on that. It's the Turkish involvement that finally brings him down. And was it Flynn? No, it was Manafort, I think, that just got raided. But nothing's going to come of it. There's no Russian involvement in the Trump admin. If it touches anyone, it's touching people on the fringes of his administration that one by one he's axing. Don't you find that slightly suspicious? I do. I think it's political strategy. He's playing the long-form game right now. He did this during the election. He didn't simply react at any given time to what was happening at the time. He was thinking ahead. Before the primaries began, he was thinking of the debates. When he started debating, he was thinking of the general. When the general began, he was thinking about how he was going to take his administration through its early stages and inevitably pivot it towards a centrist platform. That's what he's doing right now, by the way. He's already begun doing so. A lot of his core fans, they're oblivious to the fact that he's... Have you even heard about the immigration debate lately? Or have you been too busy fixating on other things Trump wants you to think of because he's a master of strategy? And the poor Democrats have been hoodwinked. They were already in a weak position for the midterms. And they're going to get hammered, I think, by Trump. Because he's simply smarter than they are. They're still trying to balance a fringe element with the neoliberals. He's sort of trying to do the same thing, but he stacked it up ahead of time. They're under Tom Perez. They're under a moron as far as their party leadership goes. He can't drag the progressives back on board with their platform. He can't do it. I don't think it's possible. They're going to jettison support. Once again, the Republicans will probably carry the midterms. While you've got a monumentally, admittedly, unpopular sitting president of their party. They're probably going to gain a couple Senate seats. How do you think that affects Trump? It makes him look pretty damn strong. Either that or it makes the Democrats look so weak they become so demoralized their party fractures and falls apart. Now that could cause them to rise back up before 2020. It's just a matter of, do we see that happening? But as far as Steve Bannon being let go of, no, Trump didn't just sit there and say, well, Steve, you really stepped in it this time. I think Steve Bannon knew that he was going to leave. Either that or this was Bannon's way of getting fired because he wanted to leave anyway. The only possibility that doesn't involve Trump's strategy is that Bannon got tired of being part of the administration. He's like, well, I'm not going to be your fall guy. I'm convinced you're going to collapse or something. So he's like, oh, fuck it. I'll talk to somebody in the media knowing full well they're going to leak it, and I'll just sit there rambling for 10 minutes, and then they'll put out the transcripts. And that's basically how it works. That's about all. Peace out.